Hello, peace and power and elevation be to all you beautiful people. Salam alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak. I hope everybody had a wonderful fast for all the brothers and sisters out there that was fasting. And I hope the rest of y'all had a wonderful day. So, today's topic, I got to get into this subject because I didn't really want to do this, but I'm getting into it, okay? We're going to address why chakra and kundalini are not part of the ancient Egyptian philosophy, or let's just say it's not the ancient Egyptian culture. Okay, I'm going to explain why chakra and kundalini is not ancient Egyptian culture. Okay, all right. Now, there's a difference between being influenced by one's culture and the actual culture. Okay. The concept of kundalini and chakras are not the actual culture of the ancient Egyptian people, meaning that they did not go around here practicing kundalini and chakras. All right, that was not their culture. That culture belongs to those who practice Hinduism. All right. So what I'm going to do, I am going to go into what is Hinduism. Okay. We got to go into the origin of Hinduism, and then we're going to go into the origin of the chakra and the origin of Kundalini. All right. So, and I have plenty of sources that will back it up. Okay. And not just only Wikipedia sources, but I will use Wikipedia source as a start. All right. So we have to be able to dispel this whole mythology that Kundalini and chakra is ancient Egypt culture. That's not true. See, what you guys have been exposed to by those in the conscious community, they have practiced what's called syncretism. All right. They have synchronized other culture within the black culture. They have synchronized culture from the Native Americans, the ancient Egyptian, and the Hindu or Eastern philosophy. And now let me say this for the record before I get started. There's nothing wrong with practicing Hinduism, okay? There's nothing wrong with neither one. If that's where your practice is at and that's where you gravitate to, then that's fine. You know, I think Eastern philosophy are very beautiful. I love Taoism. Taoism is one of my favorites to study. Okay. So I have nothing against Hinduism. I think that people should be able to study that. You know what I'm saying? That's you should be able to learn about other cultures and other practices. All right. I'm not against ancient Egyptian practice, okay, or ancient Egyptian philosophy. I'm not against that at all. Nor am I against Native American practice of shamanism. Okay. Shamanism is beautiful. All right, so I think that everybody entitled to what they want to believe in as far as their beliefs and their practice is concerned. But let's be honest about the origin. Let's be honest about the history. Let's be honest about that. Let's not sit here and say that well, this came from that or this is that cultural practice, and we know that it's not a cultural practice. Now, if you say that you have synchronized it, okay, that's cool. You have a right because our ancestors been known to synchronize other things. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors known to do that. Hell, when they came over here to America, they synchronized Islam with African tradition and the American culture. All right. They have synchronized African customs in churches. So syncretism is always going to happen. That's nothing wrong with that. That's what you can do. That's fine. But don't sit here and make it seem like that's the origin of the ancient people, because it's not. All right. Now, can there be influences? Yes. There could be influences. Is there some type of similarity? Yes. There could be similarity. Because based on influence, because ancient Egypt have influenced a lot of other cultures out there. And then we're gonna get into a subject sometime one day about Socratism, right? Socratism is like the progenitors of all the religion, all the Abrahamic religion, the Eastern philosophy religion. I mean, that's something I will have to get into by itself one day. All right. But let me go ahead and let's get on to this topic, shall we? And then just give me one moment because I'm trying to see if anybody else trying to get on here. So there's some people that want to get on here, so I'm gonna wait till they come on. But while I'm waiting on them, I'm gonna go ahead and get into, what is Hinduism and what is the Chakra and Kundalini. So let's talk about the history of Hinduism first, okay? Because I think that that's important. We got to go into Hinduism. And as you guys can see where I have pinned up, if you guys are looking in the chat, it says, if you or anyone that wants to study and learn and take courses on various subjects, please, I recommend Khan Academy. So go to khanacademy.org. They are a very great website. You can go on there and you can take free online courses. You can study and everything. As a matter of fact, they have a YouTube channel. All right. And their YouTube channel either goes into the subject about Hinduism. So please make sure you check them out. All right. So let's go into it. Let's get into the subject. So we got to look at the origin of Hindu. So now according to Wikipedia, right, it says the history of Hinduism covered a wide variety of related religious tradition native to the Indian subcontinent. Its history overlaps or coincides with the development of religion in the Indian subcontinent since the Iron Age, with some of its tradition tracing back to the prehistoric religions, such as those of the Bronze Age Indus Valley civilization. It has thus been called the oldest religion in the world. Scholars regard Hinduism as a synthesis of various Indian cultures and traditions with diverse roots and no single founder. This Hindu synthesis emerged after the Vedic period between ca. 500 to 200 BCE and ca. or circa 300 and CE. Okay, so BCE means before Common Era, CE means Common Era. Okay, so the CA stands for circa, means around. All right, so anyways, it says in the period of the second urbanization and the early classical period of Hinduism, when the epics and the first Puranas were composed, it flourished in the medieval period with the decline of Buddhism in India. So if y'all don't know that Buddhism started in India, a lot of people thought that Buddhism come from China. Now, yes, it's very populated in China. It's a big religion in China. However, it actually started in India. All right, but let's continue. All right, let's continue. So, the history of Hinduism is often divided into two periods of development. The first period is the pre-Vedic period, which includes the Indus Valley civilization and the local prehistoric religions, ending about 1750 BCE. This period was followed in northern India by the Vedic period, which saw the introduction of the historical Vedic religion and the Indo-Iranian migrations, starting somewhere between 1900 BCE and 1400 BCE. The subsequent period between 800 BCE and 200 BCE is a turning point between the Vedic religion and Hindu religions. In a formative period of Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism, the epic and early Puranic period from circa 200 BCE to 500 CE saw the classical golden age of Hinduism. Okay, that was circa 32, 320 to 650 CE. Okay, it says which coincides with the Gupta Empire. In this period, the 6 branches of Hindu philosophy involved, namely Sakya Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Mimamsa, and Vedanta. The monotheistic sect like Shaivism and Vaishnavism developed during the same period through the Bhakti movement. The period from roughly 600 to 1100 CE forms the late classical period or early Middle Ages, in which classical Puranic Hinduism is established, and Adi Sankara influential consolidation of Advaita Vedanta. All right, so give me a second. All right, I'm sorry about that. Somebody trying to get on here, so let me go back to where I left off. Um, so let me go to where I left off because somebody's trying to get on here. But anyways, let's see, where did I leave? Okay, let me just go ahead and go down to here. All right, so it says Hinduism under both Hindu and Islamic rulers from circa 1200 to 1750 CE saw the increasing prominence of the Bhakti movement, which remains influential today. The colonial period saw the emergence of various Hindu reform movements, partly inspired by Western movements such as Unitarianism and the Sophie. The partition of India in 1947 was along religious lines with the Republic of India, emerging with a Hindu majority. During the 20th century, due to the Indian diaspora, Hindu minorities have formed in all continents, with the largest communities in absolute numbers in the United States and the United Kingdom. Okay. All right. So going down, so it talks about the roots of Hinduism. As you can see, that Hinduism pretty much started in India, all right? And it was considered as being the oldest religion along with Buddhism, all right? So that's that. I just wanted to give a little background history on that. So I'm not going to like spend that much time on it because I want to get to the next subject. So let's talk about the Kundalini. All right, so let's talk about the chakras. My bad. So let's get to the chakras. Now, this is why the chakras is not ancient Egyptian philosophy. Okay? Let me show you why. Because let's see. Let's look at this. What is the chakras? So the chakra represents the wheel circle, which are the various vocal points used in a variety of ancient meditation practices, collectively dominated as Tantra or the esoteric inner tradition of Hinduism. Okay. The concept of the chakra arose in the early tradition of Hinduism. Beliefs differs between the Indian religions, with many Buddhist texts consistently mention 5 chakras, while Hindu sources reference 6 or 7 chakras. Okay. Early Sanskrit text speaks of them as meditative visualization, combining flowers and mantras as a physical entities in the body. Within the Kundalini yoga, the techniques of breathing exercise and visualization, mantras and bantras and karas and mantras are focused on manipulating the flow of subtle energy through chakras. Okay. So the modern Western chakra system arose from multiple sources, starting in the 1880s, followed by John Woodruff's 1919 book, The Serpent Power, and Charles W. Lee Beater 1927 book, The Chakras, which introduced the 7 rainbows colors for the chakras, psychological and other attributes, and a wide range of supposed correspondence with other systems such as alchemy, astrology, gemstones, homeopathy, Kabbalah, and tarot were added later. Okay. Now let's go to the etymology. Okay. Okay, so the person is here. Let me see. Let me get him on here. All right, peace. Peace, you can unmute yourself. Peace. Are you there? Unmute yourself.
When you have a story.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the car riding right now, so I gotta wait till I get to where I'm at, but I'm tuned in though.
Okay then. All right, that's fine. Cool. All right, so okay. So well, the other person is on here, so they just somewhere out and about. So yeah, when they get into a very nice secluded area, then we can be able to have a discussion. Yeah, so looking at the etymology, right? Lexically, chakra is the Indic reflex of an ancestral Indo-European form, okay? And whence also wheel and cycle. It has both literal and metaphorical uses, as in the wheel of time or wheel of drama, such as Revidia hymn verse 161:4-11, pervasive in the earliest Vedic texts. Okay. Now, and it says here in Buddhism, especially in Theravada, the Pali noun kaka connotes will. Within the central Tripitaka, the Buddha variously refers to the Dramatica or will of drama, connoting that this drama, universal in its advocacy, should bear the marks, characteristic, or any temporal disposition. The Buddha spoke of freedom from cycles in of themselves, where chromatic, reincarnative, liberative, cognitive, or emotional. Okay, in Jainism, the term chakra also means will and appears in various contexts in its ancient literature, as in other Indian religions. Chakra in esoteric theories in Jainism, such as those by was it Buddhist Agosuri? Yeah, Buddhist Agosuri means a yogic energy center. All right, so as you can see, there is a lot of comparison between Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. All right. Nowhere does it mention ancient Egypt. All right. Nowhere does it show that this is ancient Egyptian culture. Okay. Now, again, it may have got its influences from ancient Egypt, but that does not mean that it's ancient Egyptian culture or ancient Egyptian practice. Okay. Because nowhere do we see that ancient Egyptian people was practicing the Kundalini and chakras. So what young Pharaoh was telling people in the video was wrong. Okay. So I had posted up where I did a little response on my TikTok where young Pharaoh was talking about the whole thing with the Kundalini and the chakras and how, and he was going to Brother Ankh telling him, well, Mr. Amarai, you should know about this because it's in ancient Egyptian texts. And that's not true. That is not true. So that's not ancient Egyptian. He's not telling y'all that that came from the Hindu philosophy. Okay? He's not telling y'all that. All right? And see, go down here to ancient history. See, you can look. The term chakra appears to first emerge within the Hindu Vedas, though not precisely in the sense of psychic energy centers, rather as Chakra Varatan, or the king who turns the wheel of his empire in all directions from a center representing his influence and power. The iconography popular in representing the chakras, states the scholar David Gordon White, traced back to the 5 symbols of Yajna, the Vedic fire altars: square, circle, triangle, half moon, and dumpling. Okay, check this out. The hymn 10:136 of the Rigveda mentions a renunciated yogi with a female name Karmanama. Literally, it means she who is bent. Could represent both a minor goddess and one of many embedded enigmas and esoteric riddles within the Rigveda. Some scholars suggest, as D.G. White and George Feuerstein have suggested, that she may be a reference to Kundalini Shakti and a precursor to the terminology associated with the chakras in later tantric tradition. All right. Again, it goes on. It shows nothing about ancient Egypt. Okay. Now, a lot of people like to use Wikipedia sources, and they using it for the wrong reason. All right. Then they come to find out, when they tell you, when you ask them question, the first thing they tell you is go look it up on Wikipedia or go Google it. Okay. You Google something and you look it up, and it shows nothing of what they're talking about. Okay. It shows nothing of it. Now, it says breath channels are mentioned in the classical Upanishads. If that's how you say Upanishad, I'm not sure how to say that. Anyways, of Hinduism from the first millennium BCE, right? But not psychic energy, chakras theories. Okay, 3 classical nadis are Ida, Pingala, and Shumana, in which the central channel Shumana is said to be foremost, as per Surika Upanishad. The latter state David Gordon White were introduced about 8th century CE in Buddhist texts as hierarchies or inner energy centers, such as in the Havara Tantra, okay, and Karyajiti. These are called by various terms such as Kaka, Pama, and Pitta. These medieval Buddhist texts mention only 4 chakras, while later Hindu texts such as Kujetkamata and Kulajanaranya expanded the list to many more. All right. So go down here. It says, in contrast to what, according to Feuerstein, early Upanishads of Hinduism do mention chakras in the sense of psychospiritual vortices, along with other terms found in Tantra, Purana, or Vayu, along with Nadi, which means energy carries arteries. According to Gavin Flood, the ancient texts do not present chakras and Kundalini style yoga theories, although these words appear in the earliest Vedic literature in many contexts. The chakra, in the sense of 4 or more vital energy center, appears in the medieval era Hindu and Buddhist texts. All right. So I don't know if that person is back. Okay, let me see what happened. Just give me a second, because they were just on here. All right, so I don't know if that person is coming back on here. All right, so they were just on here. I don't know if they're coming back, but anyways. So yes, this right here just alone in itself just goes to show you that this is not ancient Egyptian culture. And people have been misled to believe so for a long period of time. Okay? So now this is what I'm going to do. All right? I'm going to show some sources that's outside of Wikipedia. All right? Some primary sources, some scholarship sources, some articles, books, etc. that can coincide what Wikipedia is saying. All right. So let's look at this article right here. About to post it up to you guys. It's called A Brief History of Chakras in Human Body by Albert Schreiner. All right, from Heidelberg University, which is in Heidelberg, Germany. Okay. So this person was in Germany when they wrote this. Now check this out. It says, this is the abstract. Now let's look at the introduction. It says some Western scholars believe that the chakra system began in India around 1500 and 500 BC, when the earliest yoga texts, the Vedas, were written. However, most of Indian scholars believe that the chakra system was much older than that. And the original sages passed down the knowledge of the chakra system through an oral tradition much before the Iranian people entered into India. Hence, to trace the origin of the chakra system, we have to discover the source of the oral tradition of the chakra system beyond the available ancient texts. Okay? In the oral tradition, the transmission of knowledge was from teacher to the student through present speech, stories, poems, and verses. Even today, Eastern India, in the oral tradition of chakra system, the information, techniques, and knowledge held in common by a group of people over many generations. In the Western world, we are familiar with the 7 primary chakra system. However, in the oral tradition of the chakra system, particularly in the tradition of Sri Amit Ray, the chakras are not limited by 7 or 12. It goes beyond 114 chakras. All right. And it says the original meanings of the word chakra as will refers to the cleric wills of the rulers called Kavartians, right? The term is defined as a spinning disc or wheel. A chakra on the human body is a spinning disc or wheel of energy that runs along the spine. The health of one's chakras is directly connected to the health of the physical, mental, and the emotional well-being of a person. Okay? So now let's go into the chakra science and philosophy. Vedas are considered as the philosophy of the Indian system, and chakras are considered as the science of inner body. According to the chakra philosophy, the whole universe is perceived as being created, penetrated, and sustained by 2 fundamental forces, which are permanently in a perfect, indestructible union. This principle of polarity is the foundation stone of the chakra system. Biologically, it represents the masculine and feminine poles. In chakra philosophy, these forces or universal aspect are called Shiva or Shakti. Shakti is the personification of the universe, and her activity is to love, while Shiva shares the state of supreme consciousness. Do y'all see that? Okay. Now check this out. It says the origin of chakra system in the ancient texts. The Sanskrit word chakra was used in the oldest text called the Vedas around 1500 and 500 BC, originating in India. However, the chakras are psychic centers of consciousness however, the chakras as psychic centers of consciousness are first mentioned in the Yoga Upanishads 600 BC, and later in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali 200 BC, and the Yoga Upanishads are the collection of minor Upanishads includes Stigalo Upanishad, Tija Bendu Upanishad, Jabala Upanishad, Kudamoni Upanishad, and the Yoga Shika Upanishad. All right. The origin of 7 chakra system in the Western world. Okay, so the main text about the chakras that have come to the West is a translation by the Englishman Arthur Avalon, okay, Sir John George Woodruff, in his book The Serpent Power, published in 1919. These texts, the Chakra Nirupana, written by Swami Purnananda in 1577, and the Padaka Pankaka, written in the 10th century, contains description of the centers and related practices. There is also another 10th century text called the Gorat Shatakam, which gives instruction for meditating on the chakras. These texts form the basis of our understanding of chakra theory and Kundalini yoga today. These texts have been the primary source of information on the chakras for most Western students of the 7 central chakra system. So the whole 7 chakra system as we know it came from the Western ideology. What is going on? I just seen that person on here. What's happening? All right. So let me get that person on here. Okay, are you ready?
And you know I am.
Okay, then. All right, then go ahead.
No doubt. First of all, Tiff, thank you for letting me come on your platform and kick it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I respect your grind. You know what I'm saying? You know, we go through our little dialogues here and there. However, I respect your grind. I really, really sincerely do. You know what I mean? You're a studier. And since I'm on my phone, I'm going to ask that you give me some assistance here and there so I could share what I want to share. Because I don't really know how to do that share screen joint, right? So you explained the chakra system very well, you know.
Okay. Oh, hold on.
ahead.
Before you go any further, what type of phone do you have?
Oh, it's just a trap phone. It ain't nothing special. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna be
Okay,
able to
so
you're gonna
if
be
it's
able
a
to use just
chat phone, then I can't really help you, but I can
you
whatever
can
you
put it up on
want
your
me.
screen. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
could just
can put it on my
yeah,
screen, whatever you
that's all I'm
want
gonna
me
do.
to
Yeah, that's all. I'm just gonna I'm gonna just say some things and I'm gonna just ask you to pull it up for me if you could, and then maybe read
Okay.
it. You know what I'm saying? I got stuff in my notes real quick because I took a couple notes, and like I said, I had questions. All right.
Okay,
So
then okay, well, do you mind sending the information to my inbox or something, and then that way I can
it'll
post
probably be
it?
easier if you just do like how you just did yours. It's not
Yeah.
gonna be nothing long. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not about to be long. It's
Okay.
not about to be. I'm gonna
Okay, so
just
what's the name of it?
okay. So first thing we're gonna do, right, is I got a question. The first thing is, and this kind of common knowledge. However, I just want you to answer this. Which civilization is more ancient? The Kemetic civilization and its teachings, or India or the Hinduism? Which do you think came first? Who had a spiritual system first?
Well, I mean, they all had a spiritual system. I could not really tell you which one came first because they all were around the same time. So, um, they all are ancient. They all each have their own spiritual system.
Okay, but my question is, right? Which one came first? Which one first, right? Which one is first? We got India and all what you're talking about, right? And then we got Kemet, right? Kemetic culture have been dealing with spiritual systems for a while, you know, way before any of them folk, way before, right? So that's my first statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to young Pharaoh was dropping some real stuff, right? Because sometimes we're not familiar with what he may be saying, and he was speaking fast. He was very excited. You know what I mean?
Okay, so what was he saying
Hold,
that
hold,
was
let me
very
hold on. Let me finish now. I got you. You know I ain't come up. You know I ain't come up here to just be playing around, right? You know that, right?
okay.
So
Okay.
check it out. He would just say he was being real. All right. So the first thing I say is not culture, right? So I deal heavy in African culture. That's what I study, African culture. And when I hear the words Kundalini, chakra, especially Hinduism, right? I don't put those in African culture, right? Because when I think of African culture, I'm on something way different, right? However, I do recognize where the chakra system came from. I do recognize where they pulled all of their influences from, because we are also aware that a bunch of them folks ain't invent nothing. So, first thing I do, um, how many levels did you say was in the chakra system?
Okay, so according to the information that I pulled up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so in the Western sense, right, they said 7 chakras, but overall there could be over 114 chakras. Okay, but we so far
Right.
know about the 7 chakras. Okay.
Which one do the Hinduism and chakra system and Kundalini deal with? Which that we're talking about? They deal with mainly 7, right? Of course, I heard you say it could be 100 and something,
Yeah.
right? So
Okay, the 7 system, which the Western, okay, because if you was going back to what I was reading about the Western test, hold on, let me post it back up. Let me go ahead and post it back up. All right, let me just post it up. Okay, let me post it up on here because
can you show me? All right, go
hold
ahead.
on. Let me post it back up. Let me post what I had on here. All right, let me. Okay, now right here where it says origin of 7 chakra system in the Western world, right? The main text
Mm-hmm.
about chakras that have come to the West is translated by the Englishman Arthur Avalon, right? In his
Hold on.
book,
What's his name? What's his name?
Arthur Avalon, Sir
Arthur
John
of Valley.
George, yes, Sir John George Woodruff. In his
Was
book,
he black?
no,
Go
he
ahead.
was an Englishman, an Englishman.
Okay,
Okay.
so he was a European.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm gonna. So we're saying that he's responsible for bringing the chakra system to the West. Is that what this is saying?
It's saying that the origin of, hold on, let me just finish up. Let me finish reading.
Okay.
Okay. The Serpent Power, published in 1919. These texts, the Chakra Nirupana, written by Swami Purnanda in 1577. The Pada Pankaka, written in the 10th century, contain description of the centers and related practices. There is also another 10th century text called the Gorak Shatakam, however you say it, which gives instruction for meditating on the chakras. These texts form the basis of our understanding of chakra theory and Kundalini yoga today. These texts have been the primary sources on the chakras for most Western students of the 7 central chakra system. So in the West, they deal with the 7 chakra system, right? But down here, where it says that the origin of 104 chakra system, okay? So what they deal with in the West is only 7 chakra system, but it's more than that. It's supposed to be 114 chakra
According,
system.
right. And I'm not doubting that neither, right?
And this is come
I'm
from a
not doubting
scholarly
it, right?
source, by the way.
Right. So okay, so right. First of all, I'm gonna be honest. Whoever that white dude is, I don't trust him. Period. All right. Especially to talk about what he talking about, right? Because especially he talking about it in 1919, and we're talking about ancient practices, even from the chakra system, you know.
Okay,
And
and the chakra system still go back to the Hinduism.
Okay, Hinduism, and what was the other part? And it comes from Sanskrit, right?
Yes, that's all.
Right, and we
That's
got Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is only dates back to when? About what, 3,000 years ago?
Okay, well let's go back. Let's go back.
Matter of fact, I want you to do this. Pull up Tamil.
Hold on, let's go. Hold on.
Because I got my own sources. I got a source. I got some spaces.
Okay, hold on. Just give me a second. We'll pull up your source. All right. So the whole concept of the chakra system, they don't have the exact date, but they say that they believe that it was around 1500 or 500 BC. So this is before Common Era. Okay.
Okay, right.
Because remember, Hinduism was considered as the oldest religion. All right. So this is before Common Era. All right, go ahead.
Before Common Era. Right. Yeah. So now I want to point out that the guy who was supposed to be speaking about the system did it in 1919. All right.
Right. He wrote it in 1919. Yeah.
Right. So his what are you talking about? Right. He talk about something. Yeah. Come on now. And Hinduism obviously ain't the oldest religion, because we know Kemetic culture and African religions even is way before them. Right. Especially when you go to talking about 15 BC, 500 BC, when we could travel back our spiritual practice 40,000 years ago, even further, you know? Now, so that predates anything that the Hinduism comes with, chakra, Kundalini, all of them is all Johnny come latelys, all right? All of them is Johnny come latelys.
Okay, but
so I want you to, can you pull up a picture of what the chakra system is? What it look like?
Give me a second. Hold on. Just give me a second. Let me pull up the chakra system.
Yeah, I want. Just an image of it.
Okay, let's pull up the chakra system.
And I gotta get my other battery too, because I see this one gonna die in a second before I want to go.
Okay, so there's multiple pictures on here, but I'll post one up.
Yeah, any of them. Come on, hold it. So.
All right, just give me a second. Let me.
This. I got this.
Okay, now that's one of the pictures right there.
All right, where we at? I'm fixing my phone. Should be coming up. Right. All right. So we see the 7 systems we see, the order of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, so on and so forth, right? Down to the crown, right? With the 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you, that's chakra, and we're aware that Kundalini just means the rising of the energy
And
of
I
the
haven't
spine.
even got to the part about the Kundalini yet, but
Okay,
go
okay.
ahead.
So Kundalini and chakra go together. All right. Kundalini is said to be the energy, that feminine energy that is working up the spine with the chakra system. Okay. So, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to make sure I'm getting all of these dudes on the table at the same time before I throw my bowling ball down the lane. All right. Great picture, right? And Pharaoh was making reference to chakra system being connected to, he said Egypt. When I say think of Egypt, I do think of white folk until I hear the word Kemet. Right? However, I'm aware that where he was going with it. I want you to look up this word.
Okay, hold on. Well, before you continue, let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
Young Pharaoh did not explain where the origin of Kundalini and chakra came from as far as like the cultural practice. He did not explain that in the video. And I don't watch the full video of that. He did not explain that. Now, what he was doing was called a Gish Gallop. Are you familiar with that term, Gish Gallop?
No.
That means that he was constantly talking over people, right? And he was constantly just saying all kinds of stuff. He was just, making it sound like he was just very deep. And he was just talking over everybody. He wasn't giving everybody a chance to speak or say anything. So what he was doing is he was just running off at the mouth, but not really explaining what he meant by Kundalini and chakra and where the origin came from as far as cultural practice. Okay. Mm-hmm. He didn't go into the details of that. He didn't go into like, okay, the practice came from the Hindus and this is what the origin is and this is what the origin means. He was still trying to make the comparison to ancient Egypt, and he was trying to combine them all together. And every time somebody would try to ask him something, he was constantly talking over them.
Right. I actually remember that episode, right? That's when he met with Unc and them. And that's when he first linked up with Seti, right? Yes. And I'm aware at that time he first popped on the scene then. And I met Pharaoh before, and I had my little debate or conversations with him as well, right? So, and I'm aware at that time that the OGs, Unc and all of them brothers, was jumping on the young man, right? So I see why his defense was the way it was. They wasn't building, right? They were in attack mode, right? And just as a sidebar, right?
And he was also attacking them too.
Yeah, right.
Yes, that's true. But he was also attacking them too. He wasn't trying to learn.
But he was out.
He was cussing folks out and all of that.
Right. They were right. They were okay. There was like 7, 8 adult grown men surrounded this young man. Right, 7, 8 of them. That whole squad was attacking him. They had him. That's why I said he rocked with him. Right, and they wasn't trying to give him the mic. Right, that's when he made his appearance. Now let me go back to what he was talking about though. I want you to look up the word. I think it's. I hope it don't click me off. If it do, I'm gonna pop back on because I got to make sure I'm spelling it right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Screen popping on up. All right. So boom. All right. All right. Look up this word right here, and I want you to pull it up for the screen when you type this in. Type in SEFEC, Sefek Bara.
Hold on. Okay. SE. Spell it again.
SE. FECH.
FE.
Yep. SEFECH. Space. BA. Space. RA.
Okay.
Type in that and pull it up.
Okay, so what website am I going to get it?
It's the million. Let's go. We're gonna go into meanings and stuff. See, I got notes, but we're gonna start with that, right? Sefek Bara.
Okay, I got Sefek Bara. Okay, let's
okay, so up. Can you put it up on the screen because you're going to see the connection between chakras now. This is where chakras get their wave from. This Sefek Bara is the origin All right, predates chakra. And if you put up images, all right, what you're going to see is the origin of the chakra system down to the colors. All right, this is why I mentioned them colors. When you do your research on Sefek Ba Ra, this is what he was talking about, and a bunch of people, when you are looking at it, you're gonna see people like the original chakra system, the chakra, because this is where they got it from. It's Sefek Ba Ra. There's also an author that speaks about this. Her name is, hold on. There's many authors though too. Her name is. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm. Hold on. What'd you say?
Are you talking about this?
Oh no. But check it out though. Roll up though. Hold on. Roll up though. However, hold on.
Sefek Ba Ra or chakras.
Right. Hold on. That I am, but that wasn't really. I was going to some place else. But go ahead though. But either way though, this could work.
No.
Start. Hold
on. Time out. What's the website that you want me to go?
No. I'm gonna deal with this one on the screen. I'm dealing with this on the screen right now because I'm gonna be able to make a point with this. Right. So could you scroll up real quick? So we can see the system that they got right there. All right.
Okay.
Now, when you look at that, you see exactly the 7-point system. You see the chakra system right in front of you. You see, hold on. No. Go back. We just gonna deal with the colors. We're gonna do scientific observation first. That's what we're gonna do. All right. Scientific observation. How many colors do we see up there?
Well, it looks like it's 8 colors.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's the crown. All right. Now, in that image, if you could you do a side-by-side image of the chakra system you just pulled up a second ago next to this? Yeah, pull up the chakra on the screen.
I don't think I can do that. Nah.
Okay, so we'll do it like this. We'll do an order though. We see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, another blue, purple, and light. All right. Now that's the second Ra. All right, which predates chakra. Now let's go please pull up a chakra system real quick again. That was just on the screen.
Hold on. Okay. Let me ask you a question before we even go there. Okay.
Hold on. I ain't done making my point. You can ask the question. Hold on. I want to just make this observation. I'm doing my observational joint first. We're gonna talk because I got notes too.
I have to ask you this question. What is Sefek Ba Ra? What is Sefek Ba Ra? What's the origin of that?
What you mean? What's the origin? That's out of Kemet. All right. That's where it comes from.
What period of Kemet? What period? What time period?
Ancient. You know, that's just ancient. You know, I don't got all my notes in front of me, but what I do, I can read you this. In ancient Kemet, spiritual practitioners called our energy centers Sefek Ba Ra, the 7 souls of Ra, or the Arushat, the Arushats, which mean the seats of light. These centers or seats of light are energetic vortexes that transmute energy. We're talking about that energy on all planes of existence: physical, emotional, spiritual, etc. Okay? And I'll read that again in case you ain't catch it. In ancient Kemet, we ain't talk about Egypt, we talking about ancient Kemet. Before they done came and conquered, spiritual practitioners.
Are you there? Okay, you're gonna have to come back out and come back in. Okay. I don't know what just happened. Okay, so he'll just have to come back out and come back in because I don't know what just happened. Oh, okay. You there? Yeah, I couldn't hear you because your screen had frozen. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't worry about but I just want to make sure you can hear me because I'm reading from something.
I couldn't hear you because you froze up. That's why I'm telling you. Yeah, you froze up. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Matter of fact, go ahead. Could you read that right there? You read it right there.
Okay, I'm gonna read this. Now it says the Sefek Ba Ra or chakras are 7 energy centers.
Hold on. Pause real quick. The Sefek Ba Ra or what?
Let me finish.
Hold on, I gotta because I'm making my point.
Can I finish, please? Can I finish?
Yes.
Can I finish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. The Sefek Ba Ra or chakras are 7 energies centers through which consciousness operates and exists in time and space. This is also represented by the 7 crowns of Hatharu, through which the single bull of Amu Asar reproduces life. The first 3, Shafet Bara, are the most readily understood by the average person. For example, the first chakra represents the idea of being an individual person who must eat, drink, thinks, and acts to survive and enjoy life. All right. So
okay, so boom. The first 3, 4 to 5 words. Just read up till they say chakra. What's it? The beginning part I wanted to stop you at? The Sefek Bara, or what?
Are the 7 energy centers.
No. I just want you to stop at chakra, because I want you, because clearly, right? You said in your statement, right? The chakra system has nothing to do with Egypt. Has nothing to do.
It's not.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish.
Egyptian practice. It's not Egyptian practice. It's a
Hindu hold on. This is. Hold on now. It is. It's before Egypt. Not. It's Kemet. Hold on,
I don't
because
know where you
right
get this
here.
Information from.
Hold on. We could go to many sources though, right? Hold on. Now, what you mean now? We right here on something right now. The Sefek Bara seats or chakras, right? So you said that chakras don't got nothing to do with Kemet or Egypt.
It doesn't.
Clearly, based
on the information, the sources I pulled up, and they scholarly sources.
Okay, these is 2. The Sefek Bara, and you a scholar too, right? You a scholar, and you are observational scientist. We are looking at the Sefek Bara system above those lights. Those 7 lights is the Sefek Bara. If you put up a chakra system next to that, you will clearly see the chakra plagiarism from the Sefek Bara. Clearly. You can see the root base, everything that you can see how they copied everything from Kemet and from the Sefek Bara. Which you and a couple of your the brother who you said was real sharp, y'all found it real funny when Pharaoh was making these references. But here we are right in front of you that you can read this sentence and it says the Sefek Bara. So what I want you to do is
let me tell you why.
Hold on. Let me finish though. I want you to pull up back out of here. All right. Pull up Sefek Bara again. All right. Matter of fact, do me a favor. Could you pull up a chakra system real quick?
Okay, I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell you why I was laughing at that video, because he said other things along with that. He was saying that you can eat from the sun. So, and I know he was talking about breatharian. You cannot just eat from the sun. Yes, the sun is the source, and we need sun. We need thermal energy, but you cannot just have the sun alone without having any type of nutrition in your body.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, could you pull up could you pull up our chakra system? I wish you could do it side by side, but we got great memory, and I'm sure you could literally see. You can see where they stole it from. The system, the principles, the whole way.
What you want me to pull up?
Okay, so right now I'd like you to pull up. Could we just can you pull up a chakra system? That picture you did before. It could be any image though.
Okay, let's pull up chakra system.
Okay, let's pull up a chakra system real quick. Pull up a chakra system because we're going to see red at the foundation. We're going to see we're going to see the same pattern. Exact same. They ain't switched nothing up. First of all, we know a lot of them folks never switch nothing up, and they'll never invent nothing no way. All right. They always bite and they always learn from someplace. All right. Whoever the they are. All right. So yeah, pull up a chakra system. We just got looked at the Sefek Bara. There's also an author that speaks up. If you pull up Sefek Bara space and then
hold on. You got me doing 2 things at a time. All right.
Okay, right. So we just looked at the Sefek Bara system. Now we're looking at the Chakra Kundalini system. All right. And what do we notice? We notice that red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. All right. Mm-hmm. But what do we see that's missing? That 1/8 of light that you saw earlier. All right. Because and I'm aware that that stuff goes deeper than what we just saying, because you know they said with the 114, and I'm aware that even in ancient Kemetic culture that things go way beyond what the surface is. All right. Well, I'm dealing with time right now and origin. Right now, you're looking at a carbon copy that's given no mention, because we know they're not going to do that for our folks anyway, right? Because they're not going to give us no, they don't want to give us no credit, all right? We're looking right now at the Sefek Bara, but this is chakra. And we are aware that Sefek Bara come from Kemet, which we way predates that chakra system that they talk about, the 1500 BCE and all of that. And we talk about Kemet, which is, we ain't even got to go on how ancient that is compared to them. All right. Same thing. It's principles dealing with the root to growth. It's energy to growth. Right in front of us. This is what Pharaoh was talking about when he said the 7 layers of existence, and how he was saying it to Ankh. This is what he was talking about. It's Sefek Bara. Not now he was using terminology like chakra, Kundalini, right? And sometimes we use these terminologies because these are the terminologies we know, right? And we're also aware that language does play a major role, right? And especially when it comes to culture. So we're identifying our culture, which we always see in their system that they rename and rearrange. But its original name, right? This is why we got to make sure we look at our scholars. When our scholars go to put
so who's the person that wrote the book about the Sefek Bara?
Well, there's an author named Muwada Ashby. All right. And what you can also, this is where I was about to go. If you go ahead and type in Sefek Bara, you go ahead and type in books, right? Type in books and authors. You know, I mean, you're a scholar too, because I know you sharp. You sharp. I seen you through the years, right? Yeah, you're gonna see numerous authors that'll come up, you know, and you're really, you're sharp, and I'm sure that you could see that where they stole it from. All right, now if you want, you can try to see if their system predates our African system. All right, you could see that. Try to make that as your statement to say like, okay, well, they're the same, but to try to say that Africans bit off of them, but we're aware we're the originals of everything. All right, so it's pretty much apparent that they bit off of us. They copied our stuff. They copied from the Sefek Bara, which predates it. And that's my point. It does have to do with Kemet. It does. They literally copied it.
Okay, let me ask you this. Was you trying to get to this source right here? The Kemet Kabara?
No.
The Kemet Kabara system?
It's a lady named, no, not at all. It's a lady named, a brother named Muwada Ashby.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I heard of him. I heard of him.
It's many though. It's many though, right? However, we could clearly see like any type of comparisons that you want to do or anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about, this is why I say I like building and having conversations. A lot of times to me, these discussions, they get ugly, they get messy. People go to name calling and all kind of weird stuff. And I don't like that type of energy. You know, I don't mind being wrong about something because I like to learn. I like to discuss. I like to get opinions. I like to share. I like to do all of that, right? And to me, because it's about getting to the bottom or getting the information, all right? The sharing part. I don't mind the disagreements. I just don't like when they get messy, all right? So for anybody who's out there who's paying attention to this channel, because you do got a nice following, you know what I mean? Because you've been putting in your grind, all right? Mm-hmm. You guys can look up Sefek Bara and doing your own study, all right? You can look up ancient Kemet, compare it to Sanskrit, right, which comes out of Tamil, which predates Sanskrit. All right, Sanskrit is not as old as Tamil, Tamil. All right, and we're aware that we predate all of that. So look up to the people out there paying attention. It's important to do your research as well. I did like that the brother said that, even though I was asking him questions, right?
I mean, he explained it to you. He explained it to you, but you didn't like the response that he was giving to you.
Well, I was trying to. I wanted him to explain, right? This is where I wanted him to go with it. This is where I wanted, because it was just like him just saying it, right? I wanted him to go into it, right? To go where we're going right now, right? And I wasn't trying to debate the brother. That's what I'm saying. To be getting messy, right? This is why I like to ask questions. There's nothing wrong with asking a question. Sometimes
No,
when
there's
you
nothing
ask,
wrong with that. No.
sometimes people get defenses if you ask a question, and I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, to go to name calling and different other stuff, right? I think that
but the thing, I understand where he was coming from. He was trying to answer your question, and he was answering it by saying that it's not a cultural practice of the ancient Egyptian. And what he was saying, let's go back. Let's read the comments, because I can pull up the comments. Okay,
hold on. Before we go there, right? Do you see, right? Because this is important that we're getting somewhere. Do you see where Sefek Bara predates chakra, or do you see where chakra gets that from? Do you see where chakra gets their influence from?
Because it sounds like to me, Sefek Bara is a made-up term. That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, all right. So okay, all right. So
sounds like it's a made-up term. It sounds like, when you told me who the author was,
that's not just the author though. This predates it, right? So let me ask you this though. You saying it sounds like a made up term.
Do you have any? Let me ask you this. Do you have
hold on.
Wait. We can't talk at the same time.
Okay.
Do you have any Encyclopedia of Ancient Egypt that speak on Sefek Bara? Do you have an Encyclopedia of Ancient Egypt that speaks on Sefek Bara? Yes or no?
No, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you what I probably could do if I had the time. See, this just popped up. You see this library back here? Major, right? Major library. Oh, my screen went out. Right. So if I'm sure if I was to go through these a million books, right? Because I'm in a PhD arena right now. Right. I'm sure if I was to go through any one of these million books up here, I'll pull it up. But yo, check it out. I gotta switch my battery real quick because this one about to die, but I got my backup battery right here, and hopefully it got some charge real quick. So I'm gonna sign off because my joint at 1%, but I'm gonna pop right back on. Back on. Sefek Bara, right? So why in the meantime, because you're a scholar and I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna go do your research. Even after we off, you're gonna go look it up and certain things, and that's to me what it's about. You know what I mean? And anytime we go to peeling back the white folks' lies, like the dude from 1919, or the enemies of our ancestors, we're aware that the Hindu, Indian, all of those people were enemies of our ancestors. Those are people who did invasions, stole information, knowledge, and tried to reshape who we are. All right. So we got to make sure that we could go before them. Anytime we go before them, we're going to get to the root or the ground or the basis of where most things come from. Probably everything, tell the truth. However, anyway, I'll be right back because I got to switch this battery so it don't die in the middle of our conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be right back.
All right. All right, then. Okay, so you know what? Give me a moment. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I know y'all heard all of that, this, that, and other. You heard the brother. All right, so this is called the Dictionary of Ancient Egypt. All right. All right. If you ain't got no dictionary or Encyclopedia of Ancient Egypt, let's look up what he was talking about. What's that term? Sefek Bara. Let's look at Sefek Bara. Let's see if that's an actual term. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to oh boy, he was all over the place, wasn't he? He was all over the place. Let me show you what they talking about here, because this is how. Hold on, let me just. Okay, so let me show y'all something. So this is what this brother get this information from, right? All right, so as you can see, this is how you know something is made up, right? That information that he talked about, that's something that is made up. Ain't no such thing as Sharef Bara, okay? The seventh soul of Ra. Let me look it up in his encyclopedia once again, because maybe I'm missing something. Maybe, just maybe. What he talking about, right? That's something that somebody came up with. It's a made-up term. It says this chapter is about the Shareb Bara, also known as the acts or cows through the life force energy. Shakim or Shah flows from the self and sustained consciousness in one beings. The life forces move through the Sharef Bara with the intention, direction, and the focus of consciousness in itself. Now, as you can see, whoever this author is, when I pull up his information, right? Guess what it says? It's no longer available. All right. Now let's get to the part about the Kundalini. So what I have experienced was called a Gish Gallop right there. Okay, that was a Gish Gallop. But before I bring the brother back on, let's talk about what the Kundalini is. Okay, because what is the Kundalini? All right, let's look at Kundalini. Kundalini, right? And I'm going to bring him back on here in a few moments. But let's go into the Kundalini. So in Hinduism, Kundalini is a form of divine feminine energy believed to be located at the base of the spine in the Maladrana or Maladhara. It is an important concept in the Shaiva Tantra, where it is believed to be a force of power associated with the divine feminine or the formless aspect of the goddess. This energy in the body, when cultivated in awakening through tantric practice, is believed to lead to spiritual liberation. Kundalini is associated with Parvati or Adi Parashakti, the supreme being in Shaktiism, with the goddess Bhararavi and Kujaka. The term, along with practices associated with it, was adopted into the Hatha Yoga in the 9th century. It has since then been adopted into other forms of Hinduism as well as modern spirituality and New Age thought. So what that person is talking about, that's New Age-ism, okay? When they talk about Sharif Kaba, or however you say it, that's New Age-ism, okay? All right. And New Age-ism consists of synchronized cultural practices and philosophy, which consists of Eastern philosophy, Native American philosophy, and African philosophy, all in combination. Okay. So that what you're dealing with in the current state, what young Pharaoh talking about is that New Age stuff. That's what he's dealing with, New Age stuff, not ancient philosophy in itself. If you was to ask him face to face, well, what is the origin of Kundalini and chakra? I bet you won't get an exact answer from him. I bet you won't get no exact answer from young Pharaoh. But let me go ahead and bring the brother back on the platform. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. I can't hear you.
Okay, there we go. Well, I'm glad you brought me back because my other battery, this battery dead too. You know what I mean? It's going to die on me too. I ain't have a chance to charge it. However, so right, I heard you say that that's new age. And I'm in total.
Young Pharaoh is talking about his new age.
Okay, Safek Bara. Okay, Safek Bara is not new age, right? So this the whole. Hold on, let me finish now. Let me. I got the floor. I don't mind disagreeing, right? So this is the whole thing about it. When you talk about, because I'm glad you used the word culture, right? When you talk about chakra, Kundalini, and things of that nature, we're not talking about African culture, right? So we got to make sure that's clear, right? Everything stole from our culture. I'm sure you're aware of that, right? So what you're proposing, because you said it sound made up, you're saying like our people looked at their stuff and stole it and adapted it to our own, right? When you're talking about, because I just showed you a whole system, a Safek Bara. I just showed you an ancient, and they clearly saying it came out of ancient Kemet, right? And there's other artists. Look up Muwada Ashby. Like you know who Muwada Ashby is, right? You do. You don't look at some of Muwada Ashby stuff, right? So are you saying Muwada not a credible source? And there's more. But I know you're going, Tiff. I know.
No, but he has synchronized his source. I mean, I have taken a peek at some of his books, and he has synchronized it.
Okay, so listen.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with using syncretism if that's what you're gonna do, but don't say that this is the ancient origin, this is ancient Egypt, and this is what they did. No, it's not. That's syncretism. That's something that you created.
No. So check it out. So let me ask you this question, right? Because we literally just saw, right, how they plagiarized from Kemet. We just saw the system of colors. We just saw it. We just showed the side-by-side observational research. If you take that system and put it next to that chakra system, you're going to see where the chakra system stole from. All right. And we are aware, you're acting as if you're not aware that we are way more ancient than any of those other cultures, Sanskrit, any of that type stuff. We are way more ancient than Hindu. We've been practicing spirit. We the ones who brought spirituality to existence. Our folk. All right. And things that we see is based off what our folks brought. So when you see the word chakra, Kundalini, I get it. It's not our culture. We're going to have other words for the culture of what these things mean. We're going to have different words because those aren't our words. All right. We're going to have stuff like we have our own language. All right. So, and when we're talking about sources, right, we are definitely aware, especially looking online, right? Everything about our African culture has been, they try to lie or hide or not let us see, right? So it's a bunch of things that I could pull up that it's not going to be online, right? So I don't look at online as the ultimate source or Wikipedia or any of the things that as the ultimate source, right? So we have to use
I have more than just Wikipedia. I have.
Hold on, I'm not saying you either, sis. I
have actual books here.
All right, you think I'm not. Come on now. Yeah, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. You know come on now. Me too. All right. Me too. All right. This is, that's what I'm saying. We're not what?
Okay, so as you can see, this is called the Dictionary of Ancient Egypt. And I looked at what you was talking about, Chef Bara, and it's not in this book.
First of all, it's called what? Ancient what?
This is the Dictionary of Ancient Egypt, right?
All right. So
and I looked up the term Chef Bara. It's not in here.
All right. So cool thing about that is it's ancient Egypt, not Kemet. Anytime I see Egypt, hold on, no, it's not the same.
Yes,
it's not the same. No, it's not.
Come on, bruh.
You know what the difference is? Are you going to listen? Do you want to know what the difference is?
Okay.
When you hear the word
Egypt is ancient Kemet. When they talk about, you know what ancient Kemet is. When they say ancient Egypt, you know what they talking about, dude.
Yo,
come on, let's not play word semantics.
No,
let's not play word semantics. Let's not do that.
Do I got the floor? Let me know, because my joint at 1%. I'm just trying to, because you're gonna have.
Okay, but the thing is,
okay, let me finish my point.
It's not the same thing.
Okay, can I say why it's not, or are you going to talk for me?
Hold on, wait. But I'm just telling you, you know what they talking about. Let's not play word semantics. You know what they mean.
Number one.
Go ahead and say. Okay, go ahead and say what you got to say. Go ahead.
Thank you. Dang, man. Come on, man. I'm on your platform. Dang, now.
Go ahead.
It's not the same thing. It's not. When you talk about Kemet in Egypt, you talk about 2 different time periods. When I hear somebody talk the word Egypt, I'm talking about me, right? When I hear people, I'm like, okay, that's as far as they going. They don't know about Kemet. All right. And that right there, you see that face on there? Pull up that book. Don't it look white? Don't that pharaoh look nice and white? All right. Who the author? Encyclopedia. And we dealt with mainly oral traditions. Just like, when was that encyclopedia published?
Dude, do you see?
When was that published? What's the date on it?
Hold on, just read it. Read it. Do you see what it says? British Museum, the Dictionary of Ancient
What?
Egypt.
Hold on.
Ian
What
Shaw
museum?
and Paul Nicholson. Okay, these
Hold
are
on,
Egyptologists.
no. Time out.
Hold on, dude.
Read them
These
authors again.
Stop talking over me, damn it. These are Egyptologists, right? And not only they Egyptologists, these are people that do archaeological studies. Okay, these are individuals that do these studies. So, and then how you gonna say the pharaoh look white? What are you talking about?
Hold on, time out. This is my point.
This is how.
Hold on. Don't run now. Listen, what's the author's name on that literature?
Hold on. What's that got to do with the information?
Hold on. A lot. What were the authors? Could you read those 2 authors' name again, please?
Look them up. Ian Shaw.
Who?
And Paul Nicholson.
Paul Nicholson and who else?
And Ian Shaw. So
you expect these white people? You ain't dealing with African. Hold on. You're not dealing with African scholars. You're taking Europe. Hold on, no.
That may agree.
Time out, sister. I got the floor, right? You're taking.
I'll tell you what.
This is what I noticed you done during our discussion. You took a white dude from 1919 who did something in 1919, right? And you used him as a credible resource.
No, I did not. I did not take it from 1919. Stop lying on me. Stop lying. No, because what you're not gonna do is stand here and motherfucking lie. Stop. Why are you cussing? Why are you cussing? Stop lying on me. Stop lying. Stop lying. You did not pay attention. I read the whole thing. You see what you're doing is you're using straw man. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna. You're using a straw man right now. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
Just let me know when I got the floor again. Just let me know when I got the floor.
Let me correct you on that. I didn't pick a dude. Hold on. Let me correct you on that. I did not pick a dude from 1919. I specifically read an academic article to you and told you where the concept of the chakra and kundalini came from. Okay. Now there was a paragraph in there that said that the as far as the Western concept, right, of the 7 chakras, and it was talking about the name of the author who wrote a book in 1919, which is called The Serpent Power. Okay. And so, what I showed you is ancient Egypt dictionary. That's what I was showing you. And what I said in here, when I looked up the term, the Shefa Bara is not in this book. Okay.
Hold on, sis. Do I got the floor again now?
Sir.
Hold on. You took the. Hey, Tiff, you took the floor from me. I had the floor, right? You took the floor from me.
You're not gonna stay here around me, bro.
So hold on. The way to correctly do that is to wait till I'm finished, right?
No, then I'll tell you what. Man, bye. Nah, bro. I can't do that. Nah, bro. Nah. It's a done deal. It's a done deal, bro. Cause bro, just stand here and lie. Like, I can't stand that. I try to give bro a benefit of the doubt, and he's standing here lying, saying that I'm just trying to use some white man this, that, and other. No, I specifically, anybody that was watching the video, I specifically read the sources. Okay, what he just did was called a straw man. What he did was just a straw man. He just took a little bit of what I said and tried to use that against me. You're not gonna do it. It's not my fault that you bring the author that is pseudo. Okay, what he has, when I say pseudo, this man who you talking about, Murata Ashby, he has synchronized the source. He synchronized information. Okay, that's that new age stuff. See, there's a difference between new age philosophy and what is actual, man. Okay, ancient philosophy, right, is different from new age philosophy. And new age stuff consists of multiple Eastern philosophies and some African tradition, and that's what the conscious community consists of. A lot of new age stuff. And again, it's nothing wrong with synchronizing. If that's what you want to do, if you want to learn different culture and different ideology, then you can do that. And what I have witnesses, and he just showed me an example. That's a Gish Gallop right there. He did what is called Gish Gallop. All right. He kept talking over me when I was trying to have a conversation with him, right? You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't even let me finish off where I was trying to say. He wanted to talk over me, and he wanted to try to, like, come up with these questions. As a matter of fact, let's look up the term Gish Gallop, all right, while we here. Let's look up the term Gish Gallop, man. Oh, boy, this is funny. Let me show you. This is what he just did. Let me show you what a Gish Gallop is, okay? And then I'm going to give you guys the sources what y'all need to look up on, all right? Because, man. All right, so Gish Gallop is a rhetorical technique in which a person in a debate attempts to overwhelm their opponent by providing an excessive number of arguments with no regard for accuracy or strength for those arguments. The term was coined in 1994 by anthropologist Eugenie Scott, who named it after American creationist Duane Gish, and argued that Gish used the technique frequently with challenging the scientific facts or evolution. It is similar to another debating method called spreading, in which one person speaks extremely fast in an attempt to cause their opponent to fail to respond to all the arguments that have been raised. And that's what he just did. He did that just now. He did that just now. He been doing that the entire time, okay? He kept coming up with other questions, and then he tried to throw in another question, and then he tried to throw in. He's not looking at scholarly sources. I can tell he's not dealing with scholarly sources, all right? And as I mentioned before, in this book, bruh, he's talking about, well, Kemet, there's a difference between Kemet and Egypt. No, it's not, okay? You know what they mean when they talk about ancient Egypt. You know exactly what they meant. Kemet, that's what they're talking about. Let's stop playing semantic games, okay? Let's stop doing that. If we're going to have this conversation, man, let's get to the bottom half of this, y'all. You're not going to sit up here and try to play with me, man. That's frustrating as hell. Like, that is frustrating. And that's what he was doing the whole time, Gish Galloping. Just Gish Gallop, Gish Gallop. He talking about Sefer Bara. There's no such thing as no Sefer Bara. Anybody that got an ancient Egyptian encyclopedia, right? As a matter of fact, let me go pull up an ancient Egyptian encyclopedia right now while we at it. While we at it. Let's pull that up. Okay, let's pull this up. Let's look up the encyclopedia. Because remember, this is why it's important to have an encyclopedia, okay? This is why it's important. Because when you deal with people like this, right? They say anything. Let's look it up. So right here, let's go to the source. Let's go to the source. Let's go to the source right here. All right, this is Encyclopedia of Ancient Egypt. The Encyclopedia of Ancient Egypt, right? Now, remember this. I always have this encyclopedia. Now, let's go down to the letter S. Let's look up Seref Bara or whatever it is. Is there a such thing as Seref Bara? No, there is no Seref Bara. Okay, but what you have is a mythical creature, Seref, which is a mythical creature associated with the pyramid test and the mortuary ritual of the 5th dynasty. The Seref was a winged lion with magical powers. The pyramid text depict the creature as a friend of Uranus in the afterlife. Okay, so there is no Sarep Bara. Okay, there is no Sarep Bara, and this is the Encyclopedia of Ancient Egypt. You're not going to find that. Okay, you're not going to find that. And as you can see, he was sitting up here trying to say, well, young Pharaoh was deep. He was talking about this, that, and other. No, he was not. He was not saying anything. He was using what is called Gish Gallop. Okay, he was using a Gish Gallop the whole entire time. I can go and pull up that video. Let me pull up the original video. All right. I'm sorry that I had to kind of like stop this, but let me show you what young Pharaoh was doing. All right, let's look up young Pharaoh. I'm going to pull up the video, right? As a matter of fact, let me put up the copyright shit. Let me put this copyright shit up. Because I just got frustrated, man. Good God Almighty. Lord have mercy. Let me just pull this up, boy. Damn, he got me frustrated. All right, so it says the copyright disclaimer. All right. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay. Now let's go and let's pull that video up of young Pharaoh. Okay, so I'm going to pull this video up, right? And we're going to get to the part where young Pharaoh started talking about the whole Kundalini thing and shit like that, okay? All right, so this is when they was on that Sinetta platform talking about this, having this conversation, this build, okay? All right, so
of that, because the fence is the literature. So what you're saying is you don't fuck with science. No. You have a plan of interpretation. You saw my eye. It ain't science that you believe is not science. What is science? The science is science. Science is we have is an interpretation of that, because the fence is the apes. We evolved from apes, like that thing. That's not science. Hold on. It's science. Hold up. There's science in it, but when they blanket it as all completely science, then I would have to ask the question, just as a case in point. I would have to ask the question. Okay, you got that right next. Science will deliver, I promise you. But I'm going to say like this. Now, if there's apes, we came from apes, or they say chimpanzees more specifically, how come there's still chimpanzees here, and how come they're evolving into humans now? What took place to stop that? Why did it have 48?
For blood, you could do it in a laboratory. Okay, I've done it.
Read the metal nature
Guess what you just did?
Because he said he can prove it, but you prove things through testing.
Okay.
All right, so now in this video, you're going to see Benjamin, all right, talking and disproving, disclaiming this man's argument, all right? Watch this.
So you can read it. So when anyone says to you that no one is translated or no one can read the metal nature, guess what you just did? You read it, okay? So don't listen to that. This is an African language. It's an African script. You're an African people, so African people can read it, all right? When we're in that museum, most of the people that you've seen in there were whites and Asians. Is that right? Okay. So why is it that they in there reading it, but someone tells you that you can't? Does that make sense? No. Okay. All right. I don't know what that is. Okay.
All right, yo. We're going to disprove this breatharian shit right now.
Okay, let's get it.
Okay, you go back to the oldest remnants of breatharians, and that shit started in Hinduism, not African science.
Wait a minute, what did he say? It started in Hinduism. Breatharian started in Hinduism. All right, let's continue.
Hinduism comes from Indo-Aryan Sanskrit. So that's not an African science, right?
Hinduism comes from Indo-Aryan Sanskrit. Okay, it's not African science. Listen to what he's saying.
So you can go to the test subjects because he said he can prove it, but you prove things through testing. That's all the theory. That's all the hypothesis is a tested subject. You got to test things. So they've done these tests, right? And people have died. You go to the BBC News, they talk about the 52-year-old woman that decided to be a breatharian and she died. And the hundreds of other studies of people trying to be breatharians, taking in the sunlight, getting good tans, but they dead. They dead in their coffins looking black. So what I'm trying to tell the family is don't be going off your diets trying to say, oh, I'm going to save some money and I'm going to eat the sun. No, you're going to die. Because you need nutrients for the body. And that's black. These are black people, Caucasian, Mexicans, all types of people died when they didn't eat.
Let me answer the question. Okay, pause. So now we understand that. Pause.
Now, I'm going to show you where the Gish Gallop comes in with young Pharaoh. I'm going to show you what he's doing. I'm going to show you the Gish Gallop, and then I'm going to present some information, okay? Shout out to my brother Malik, all right? So I'm going to present the information, all right? Woo, let me go ahead and present the information. Let me show you what young Pharaoh is doing. See, this is where Gish Gallop come in. This is when he talks over everybody, and he say a whole bunch of things, and it ain't making no sense. Let me show you. Pay attention.
We understand that you are not your physical body, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna prove to you right now that you're not your physical body. Use your common sense. Raise your hand. Just raise your hand. Did your hand raise itself, or did you give the command to the body to raise the hand?
No.
Well, answer the question. Answer the question.
My brain.
Okay, your brain gave a signal, right? So now, okay, your brain is an official entity, correct? Which means that the source from which the thought came would not be the body, because the body is the puppet. So do you? No, answer the question, man. No question. Now I'm running over you. Listen, you are not the body. First of all, you are not the body. You saying it's pseudo, but you're not spiritually vibrating high enough to even transmit this knowledge. So first of all, second of all, calm down. Third of all, you are not your body. So therefore, your spirit ether body has a different food source than your physical body. If you fuse your spirit body or your ether body with your physical body, you can eat directly from the source.
Now, that's where the video come in when I posted it up on Facebook. He's talking about the etho body, and you can eat directly from the source of sun. So let me show you why this is laughable.
So the soles of your hands, the soles of your feet, the palms of your hand, these transmute energy. These are your 11 chakras. Your aura is you have 7 levels of existence. You only see them with the 2 eyes, which is the 3rd dimension, which is the densest level. You have a 7th eye, which is your crown chakra. When your Kundalini is flowing, you're supposed to know this, Mr. Amira.
All right. He's saying when the Kundalini is flowing, you should know this. All right, so this is where he comes at. Watch this.
No. It's Egyptian as well. When your Kundalini energy is,
he said it's Egyptian as well. All right.
flowing and all your chakras are aligned, your light body is permeating, and your light body takes over the physical realm. And you see, once your light body takes over the physical shell, now you eat on that realm because that is the driver that's in control. So you have never transmigrated the physical realm, so you don't have no experience.
Oh, this is funny. Oh my God.
So yes, I astral project all the time. What are you talking about? I leave the shell all the time. You're not on that realm. I go.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me play that bit. Let me play that bit one more time. Let me play that bit one more time. This shit is so funny. Okay, y'all, pay attention. This is what Gish Gallop sound like. Pay attention. Pay attention. Now, he sound like he deep as hell, right? Let's go back.
The signal, right? So now, okay, your brain is an official entity, correct? Which means that the source from which the thought came would not be the body, because the body is the puppet. So answer the question, man. No question. Now I'm running over you. Listen, you are not the body. First of all, you are not the body. You saying it's pseudo, but you're not spiritually vibrating high enough to even transmit this knowledge. So first of all, second of all, calm down. Third of all, you are not your body. So therefore, your spirit ethereal body has a different food source than your physical body. If you fuse your spirit body or your ethereal body with your physical body, you can eat directly from the source. So the soles of your hands, the soles of your feet, the palms of your hand, these transmute energy. These are your 11 chakras. Your aura is you have 7 levels of existence. You only see them with the 2 eyes, which is the 3rd dimension, which is the densest level. You have a 7th eye, which is your crown chakra. When your Kundalini is flowing, you're supposed to know this, Mr. Anurag. No, it's Egyptian as well. When your Kundalini energy is flowing and all your chakras are aligned, your light body is permeating, and your light body takes over the physical realm. And you see, once your light body takes over the physical shell, now you eat on that realm because that is the driver that's in control. So you have never transmigrated the physical.
Now, do you see how everybody looking at him in the background? Do you see how everybody looking at him in the background? They looking at him like he crazy, bro. What the hell? They looking look at these facial expressions. Look at the facial expressions. Let's continue.
Realm, so you don't have no experience. So yes, I astral project all the time. What are you talking about? I leave the shell all the time. You're not on that realm. I go to the 5th dimension.
That facial expression is priceless. That facial expression right there is priceless. Look at that. Look at Rob on. Look how Rob on. Look at him. Do y'all not see these 2 facial expressions? That is so priceless. Oh boy.
All the time. No drugs, no nothing. So you're not functioning in your higher self.
Oh boy. Whew. So wait a minute. He astral project, and you can eat from the sun. Okay, y'all. Okay. All right. So shout out to Brother Malik. So Brother Malik has sent me some information, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about. Oh goodness! Oh, this astral projection shit. Okay, so this is what Brother Malik sent to me, and I'm going to read. It's come from the ancient Egyptian concept of the soul. All right, so now Here it is. The ancient Egyptian conception of the soul, right? All right, see, this is where it has nothing to do with the Kundalini, okay? It has nothing to do with Kundalini and chakras, all right? Again, this is where things get mixed up. As you can see, what they tried to do is they taken the concept of the ancient Egyptian concept of the soul and they mixed it in with the Hinduism philosophy and call it Kemetic yoga. And that's not what it is. Let's read into this. The ancient Egyptian believed that a soul was made of many parts. In addition to these components of soul, there was the human body, okay? According to ancient Egyptian creation myth, the god Atum created the world out of chaos, utilizing his own magic. Because the earth was created with magic, Egyptians believed that the world was imbued with magic, and so was every living thing upon it. When humans were created, the magic took the form of the soul, an eternal force which resided in and with every human being. The concept of the soul and parts which encompass it has varied from the old kingdom to the new kingdom, at times changing from one dynasty to another, from 5 parts to more. Most ancient Egyptian funerary texts reference numerous parts of the soul. Ket, which is the physical body, Sai, which is the spiritual body, Ren, which is the name identity, Ba, which is the personality, Ka, which is the double, Ib, which is the heart, Shut is the shadow, and Shinket, which is the power form. All right. And it says, collectively, these spirits of a dead person were called the Ak after that person has successfully completed its transition to the afterlife. Egyptologist R. David at the University of Manchester explained the many facets of the soul as follows. Okay, the Egyptian believed that the human personality had many facets, a concept that was probably developed early in the old kingdom. In life, the person was a complete entity, but if he had led a virtuous life, he could also have access to a multiplicity of forms that could be used in the next world. In some instances, these forms could be employed to help those whom the deceased wished to support, or alternately to take revenge on his enemies. All right, so now maybe this is what the brother was trying to get at when he was trying to say that the Hindus took on the philosophy of the whole chakra from the ancient Egyptian. So he probably was trying to say the ancient Egyptian concept of the soul. But the ancient Egyptian concept of the soul was dealing with the afterlife, okay? It had nothing to do with meditation. It had nothing to do with the Kundalini chakras and none of that stuff. See, that's, like I said, that's why I say it's a new age philosophy, okay? It's new age philosophy. It's mixed in together. All right, you got this whole Hinduism and ancient Egyptian concept, and they try to call that Kemetic yoga, and that's not what it is. That's not what it is. That's not the practice of the Kemetic people. Okay, now if you want to do something like that, you want to be creative, cool. That's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with being creative. That's a creative way of being. But let's just keep it 100. Stop saying that. Stop sitting here saying that the Kundalini and the chakra is all tied back ancient Egypt. And you know that's a lie. You know that's a lie. Now, you know that the ancient Egyptians did not come up with no idea of the Kundalini and chakras. Now, maybe the Hindus may have gotten some of its influence from the ancient Egyptian based on their conception of the soul. But don't sit here and say that the ancient Egyptian created the concept of the Kundalini and chakras. Don't say that. Don't say that that's what they was doing. That don't say they was practicing that, because that's not true. You know what I'm saying? This is why I say that. That's why I say that you guys need to make sure you have the Encyclopedia of Ancient Egyptian book, and you also need to make sure that you know what I'm saying, if you're going to look up Wikipedia source, make sure that you can go on there and look for the right things and look for the references at the bottom of the page. Let's look at the references, okay? Let's look at the references at the bottom of the page. All right, so as you can see, it says the Book of the Dead, the Papyrus of Ani in the British Museum, right? Okay, the study of the Ba concept in ancient Egyptian texts, all right? Okay, so let's see. Because it's just so interesting. It's like, I don't know what people try to visualize or try to, man, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't understand. I don't get it. Okay, so even with the references, again, you can go down here. You got a study of Ra concept in ancient Egyptian texts, and you can download the PDF. You got James P. Allen. You got the ancient Egyptian religion and interpretation. Okay. All right, you got that. So it's just so, it's so interesting. And then you got the sources, the concept of afterlife, right? Egyptology. You see that? Hold on, let's go to it. Let's go to the source. Nowhere will you see the Kundalini and all that other stuff they talking. You won't see that in here. You see that the Ka, the Ba, the Ankh, and the body embalmed. You see this? You can find this, the afterlife and all of that. Whatever you're looking for, you can find it here. You won't see that. That whole argument about the Kundalini concept, you won't see that. And the brother got upset with me because I said that they synchronize that. That's what they do. It's a lot of syncretism in the conscious community. It's a lot of syncretism. It consists of the Eastern philosophy, Native American, and African philosophy mixed in together. Okay. Now, when people get honest about that, then you can have a conversation. All right. And the Egyptian conception of soul had nothing to do with meditation and all of this stuff about dealing with the 7 chakras and the Kundalini spiral. It has nothing to do with the yoga. It has something to do with the afterlife. Those are funerary texts. It had nothing to do with that. That whole yoga stuff, that's Hindu stuff. So please stop that. Stop trying to run games. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it out, but I'm gonna give y'all some books that y'all can look into. I mean, boy, I tell you, man, it's sad, dog. It's really sad that like people just goddamn be so damn brainwashed into that shit. So let me go ahead and put up all these. I'm gonna post up some of the articles on my page so you guys can see for yourself. You know, you can look up the Wikipedia article or whatever. All right, so here it is. This is the books I wanted you guys to check out. All right. So this book is the Encyclopedia of Ancient Egypt. All right. Check out that book. Make sure you check it out. Okay. So what I'm gonna start doing, I'm gonna start putting these things in the description box so you guys can look it up. Okay. But that's the book right there that y'all need to look into. Okay, and here's an article here. Hindu spiritualism. And this book right here, which is called The Hinduism for Dummies. Hinduism for Dummies. Okay, and see, as you can see right here, let me post up the title. It's called the Encyclopedia of Hinduism. All right, this is Encyclopedia of Hinduism. Also, this book is called Introduction to Hinduism. Introduction to Hinduism. This one's called Kundalini Concept and its Origin and Value. Okay. This is called the Illustrated Encyclopedia of Hinduism. And again, this is a study of the Ba concept in ancient Egyptian texts. Okay. All right. And this came out in 1968 by Louis V. Zakbar or Zakar. Okay. All right. So, oh boy. So with that being said, that's that information. Always make sure y'all go back and vet y'all sources, man. You know what I'm saying? And then know when somebody is sitting up there trying to run game. Because you got people that be trying to run game, be trying to mismatch information. So, and oh, one more thing before I get done. And I'm going to talk about this later on in the near future. Let's talk about New Age thought. Let's go into what New Age thought is. Okay, let's look into the New Age movement. Just real fast. Because I'm going to show you that's what New Age. Check this out. New Age is a range of spiritual or religious practices and beliefs which rapidly grew in the Western world during the 1970s. Precise scholarly definition of the New Age differ in their emphasis, largely as a result of its highly eclectic structure. Although analytically often considered to be religious, those involved in it typically prefer the designation of spiritual or mind, body, spirit, and rarely use the term New Age themselves. Many scholars of the subject refer to it as New Age movement, although others contest this term and suggest that it is better seen as Malo or Zeitgeist. Okay? And check this out. It says, as a form of Western esotericism, the New Age drew heavily upon a number of older esoteric traditions, in particular those that emerged from the occultist current that developed in the 18th and 19th centuries. Such prominent occultist influences include the work of Emanuel Swedenborg and Franz Mesmer, as well as the ideals of spiritualism, New Thought, and Theosophy. A number of mid-20th century influences, such as the UFO religions, right, of the 1950s, the counterculture of the 1960s, and the human potential movement, right, also exerted a strong influence on the early development of the New Age. The exact origins of the phenomenon remain contested, but there is general agreement that it became a major movement in 1970, at which time it was centered largely in the United Kingdom. It expanded, grew largely in the 1980s and 1990s, in particular within the United States. By the start of the 21st century, the term New Age was increasingly rejected within the Malo, with some scholars arguing that New Age phenomenon has ended. Okay? All right, so again, that's basically just give y'all the idea of what the conscious community really is. That's New Ageism. Okay, that's New Age thought. That's what they're practicing on, or that's what their continual practices is. All right, especially those who into that spiritual concept, all the Kundalinis and the shamanism and the chakras and the ancient Egyptian and all that mixed in together. They practicing New Age. They practicing New Age philosophy. That's what they're practicing. That's what they're practicing. Okay? They don't want to talk about it. Peace, Pure Black. How you doing? Peace, Pure Black. How you doing? So it's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you're into and that's what you're practicing, then okay, that's fine. But just know that you're continuing the practices of those who was into it in the 70s, in the 60s, and the 80s. Just know that. But it just happened to be the black version of New Age. That's all it is. Okay? So, I'm not trying to sound like, no, I'm not trying to sound like Brother Unc. No, I'm not trying to sound like him. I'm not trying to sound like him, but no, I'm just being straight up because, you know, there's some people that be trying to come on here and trying to run that game. You're not going to run that game on me, man. You're not going to do that. You're not going to play with me. You're not going to play with my intelligence and try to use wordplay and try to play on semantics and use this gish gallop. You're not going to do that with me. You're not going to do it. I'm not going to deal with that. You're not going to do that. And you know what I'm saying? And then when the person want to try to get louder and try to use all these technical terms or try to like weave their way around the question and try to keep talking over you, that's Gish Gallup. You're not going to do that. You're not really making no point there. And that's why I was trying to get back about young Pharaoh. He wasn't really making no point. He was using Gish Gallup. It's no different. The Nuwapians, they do it all the time. Gish Gallops. They are very good at Gish Galloping. They are very good at that. The Nuwapians, people like Pharaoh, the Hebrew Israelite, they good at Gish Gallops. They'll try to shut their opponent down with coming up with multiple questions or try to use a difficult terminology or try to bring about an enigma in their argument. They try to bring by enigma in their argument, trying to bring confusion or try to like shut down what people is trying to say. They do that. That's what they do. See, because that's their way of keeping from being challenged. That's their way of keeping from people asking questions. That's their way of people trying to keep people from saying things that they know that's going to make them cognitive dissonant. Okay? They're gonna do whatever they can to deflect. And for them, they're looking at what is called philonika. That's another term. Let's look up philonika. Ooh, let me post that up. All right, so let's look up the term Philonika. Because for some people, they look for victory. Oh, I got the victory because I said this, that, and other. Right here, there are two basic motivations for dialogue: the love of wisdom, right, which is philia sophia, and where the term philosophy come from. So the term philosophy come from what it means? The love of wisdom. Philosophy means the love of wisdom. Okay, so philia sophia and the love of victory is philonikia. Okay. Keyword Nike. Where do you think the word Nike come from? Nike comes from the Greek word Nikia, which means victory. Okay. Nike is the goddess that represents victory. All right. Now let's get down to it. It says, these motivations have been strategized over centuries and used in many forms to either win arguments or gain wisdom. I am sure you can deduct which will result in which. All right. So go on to say in this article, it came out July the 8th of 2021. It says, I have found that these mindsets are key to understand the Bible, or better result in two different set of interpretation of the Bible. In the Kabbalah, the top principle is wisdom. So one could argue that philosophia is akin to the search for growth in God as the source. I do that, neglecting the foundation different connotation that we have of wisdom and the Kabbalah has, and the ancient Greek understanding differs from both. But what would an interpretation use philonikia look like? You can see it when you hear a pastor say, I have read the end of the book, and you know what? We win. A philonikia interpretation will look at the Bible as the battle between good and evil, right and wrong, and it will draw such satisfaction and comfort from the prospect of righteousness prevailing. All right. So winning, as in philia always includes losing. It always based on a dualistic mindset, thinking as in us against them. The typical categories would be strong and weak, safe and lost, successful, loser, tolerant and intolerant. Okay. So it also says the love of wisdom does not think along these lines, but yes, over the course of history, dualism has been the driving worldview. All right. So with that being said, there's multiple reasons why people will get into discussion. Either they get into discussion to have wisdom and understanding, right? For the love of wisdom was philia sophia, or they only do it to gain victory, means that to overpower the person, which is philonikia. All right. So what you see a lot of times within these conscious circles, there's a lot of philonikia. Even those who are highly intelligent, those who are dealing with a lot of academic sources, they allow their egos to get in the way. And when they become egotistical, they're not looking to impart wisdom on the person. They're looking to gain victory over an individual, which brings about philonikia. All right. So like I said, with that person tonight, I wasn't trying to debate this individual. I wasn't trying to do none of that. I was trying to have a conversation, but this person just looking to just they were just talking over, and they weren't really making sense with their argument. They really wasn't. They wasn't even trying to deal with the scholarship. They weren't even trying to deal with the source. You got to go and deal with the sources, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm just playing. We all say the same shit. We know the flam. Yeah, of course. We all know who run the games. We all know that. And you gotta be careful. This is why I'm glad I do a YouTube channel like this. I'm glad that I post up information, because I want people to be able to gain the sources, gain access to the source, and they'll be like, well, damn, I didn't even know about this. Well, let me go read on it. Oh, okay, there's books on this. Oh, there's article on this. Okay, we can read on that. We can look into that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to learn how to think outside the box, man. You got to. Okay. And sometimes it's not always about winning an argument. It's always about learning something different. If you're willing to learn, then you got to be able to humble yourself. But if you're looking to win an argument, then you ain't really learning that. All you just trying to do is just gain power over other individuals, which can make you an intellectual bully. And wow, it's so many of them out there like that. Okay, everybody. So I've been on here for the past, I've been on here for the past 2 hours or whatnot. Okay. And with that being said, I hope you guys gained something out of this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Peace and power elevation be to all you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and check out my channel and support my channel. All right. Okay. Again, make sure you subscribe, like in the channel. This video will dispel the myth about the Kundalini and chakras being the ancient Egyptian culture. Thank you. That's it. And also, make sure if you or anyone you know that wants to study, learn, and take courses on various subjects, please recommend Khan Academy. Check out the website at www.khanacademy.org. Check out those websites, okay? Check out that website. It's a free online course. As a matter of fact, you can even find a YouTube channel. Just go type in Khan Academy on YouTube, and you will find the channel, all right? And you'll be grateful for that, okay? All right, y'all. So with that being said, this your girl Tiffany. I'm logging off. Peace and power elevation. Until next time, deuces and Ramadan Mubarak to all the brothers and sisters out there, to all my Muslim brothers and sisters especially. And y'all have a good one. Be safe. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Peace.